Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. So I'm going to do the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. We went live and talked about it, but here's one for everyone. Let's go. So Brit met at Shamia's along with Angela, and they talked about everything that happened at the bank. Angela was telling them that she got some backlash because their antics made the people upset, right? And Britt was like, I should apologize for that. I will apologize for that. Like, what do I need to do? Then they got to talking about the situation with her and Kenya. And Shamia was like, yes, you're going to have to apologize to Kenya. And Angela was like, you may need to fall on your sword for this. And she was like, no, I didn't mean anything by it. Like, I don't want to hurt Kenya. I would never hurt her. So at this point, she is getting ready to apologize to Kenya. So Portia and Kelly are here to help Kenya with the models for the reopening. And she's asking her, did she invite all the girls? And she said yes. She did not uninvite Brit Edie. Now that's what she should have done, right? And then Portia started talking about what happened at the bank, what Kenya heard, and all of that. So at this moment, Kelly is leaning back looking at Kenya crazy because Kenya's talking about how Brit had, approached her with angst and aggressiveness and all that kind of stuff. So Kelly is like, I don't know her to be like that. I have never known her to be like that. And Kenya was like, I have to learn who she is. And then, so she was like, well, maybe y'all should just talk. And then they got ready, twirled off, and they looked for the people. That's a lot. Child, Kenya said she was going to get a background check done on Brit. And I'm with Kelly. She was like, you need to do a background check on these employees. Find somebody that can come in here and wash some hair because you can't even get nobody in your spa. That's per Kenya. I do appreciate this conversation between Portia and Brit because what came out of this is this. Brit has seen Kenya in action. And what Brit did not want to get is Kenya'd, right? So she was picking up on little things, and I think maybe she was kind of reading too much into it also. But she was picking up on little things that could be Kenya-isms, and she was just fighting against that. And then they talked about the little pum-pum. She said that I should not have said that. I take full accountability, and I want to apologize and move on. She was just upset. And then I remember I said something about her environment she and Kelly had talked about. She was like, I was places that I would never be. So that's that. I thought this was a great conversation. Baby Angela got some on her hands right here with this Charles Oakley, okay? She told Charles that Portia said that she knew something about him. He was like, what, she the feds? She better Google me and Google me twice, okay? She don't know anything about me. This is something else. So Angela is still having problems with her mom. She's trying to do what any wife would do to a husband, and that's discuss it. He doesn't want to hear anything about it. He said, you keep bringing this to me like I really care about it, right? I ain't got time to be taking care of these people, and they treat me a certain kind of way. Basically, Charles is like, you can go tell somebody else that because I don't care nothing about your mama. But I do know that it can be difficult when there's not a good relationship between your husband and your family. That is hard to navigate because Charles is not feeling it. That's a problem. Cynthia really was here for Kenya, right? Her whole introduction right here was like, oh my God, I'm so proud. She's been working on so hard on this. This is a long time coming. She's doing this for her and her daughter. She was really happy to be there for her friend. And I know people are like, Cynthia is not a real friend. Cynthia is a real friend. I think she's a real friend. She's a real grown friend. And she's disappointed in someone who she considered to be a friend. And I think that's okay. What got me is at this moment when Kenya was sitting here talking to these reporters and she was saying how she's doing this for her daughter because she's a boss and she wants her daughter to know she's a boss too. And the whole entire time she was getting ready, this was premeditated to embarrass or try to embarrass Brit while she was in the room. Kenya was geared up for this. I love that Miss Lawrence was there for Kenya's final act because when Kenya came onto the show, she brought him with her, right? And like they were by each other's side all the time. He mentioned about how she was the first person to show him how to put clips or pins on tracks. I thought this was a great moment. Now, this is what Housewives is about right here. I love that Kelly picked her up in a Sprinter and they have champagne. She's bought these beautiful white flowers for Kenya, right? She had pure intentions. She also let us know that her aunt had passed away, which is hurtful to her because her dad has passed away. But she is really here to make it right with Kenya because what she's saying, what Brit is saying, is that that was not her intentions and she wants to move forward. I know we don't agree on that, but that's what she said. So Cynthia is being downloaded of everything that she has missed since she's been gone. I'm willing to say she was in Amsterdam with LaPrince, right? So she finds out that Shamia and Angela have made up, right? Because Shamia told her she invited her over with Brit. And then she asked, Portia has her and Drew made up. She said, you didn't miss that. I'm very much still hot, right? So that won't happen anytime soon. So Angela comes in, Kenya sees her, she pulls her to the side. They have a conversation. Kenya lets her know that she's the only one that reached out. You know, she said, hi, Kenya, you looked amazing last night. I'm grateful for your presence. I just want to let you know that I did not appreciate what happened to you. She went on to say that she apologized for her not feeling safe. As a mother and as an elevated Black woman, I support your stance. So Kenya was very open to that. As she was doing this, Kenya has taken so many Patron tequila shots. Like, I feel like she knew what she was going to do. This was going to be a shocker to everybody. She wanted to do this at her opening of her spa to solidify her as a bad bee who got fired. And she needed some liquid courage. And she had a lot of it. So child, Brit and Kelly walks in. This is not it. Let me show you when I knew this thing was gonna go left. Baby, this is how Kenya looked at Brit when she walked in. Like you just know she was on something else, right? It exudes, I'm about to tear into her. Let's get into it. So at this point, the ladies are reassuring Brit that she's here. She was not uninvited. Cynthia was like, you would have known if you was uninvited. Kenya is known to call security and put people out, right? But then at that moment, so the Patron is patroning at this point, right? Because Brit walks up to her to say, I'm sorry and I want to give you these flowers. Kenya kind of moved her out of the way, like it with her aura, right? And ignored her. But at the same time, it may not have been a good idea for Brit just to get in her space. You know what I'm saying? Now, Brit doesn't know that she's 3 sheets to the wind, but she has to know she still feels a certain way. This right here has got to stop, right? Because Drew has got to learn how to not take shots and be condescending because she fooling with Portia, and Portia don't care that much, right? Portia said, if you better stop talking to me like you singing or I'm going to make you ring. Let's keep going. P.S. I will say this. I was very proud of Portia for walking away because Portia could have taken it to HE double hockey sticks before Kenya. She really could have. So I'm glad she walked away. But that hot dog comment, that was unnecessary. So back to Kenya. As Brit is saying goodbye to everybody because Kenya has ignored her, Kenya is ready to embarrass her. So she's clapping to get everybody together. And while she's doing that, Brit is leaving out of the door. And thank God, because it's already embarrassing. It could have been worse. The only thing Kenya said when she got everybody's attention is that this was a labor of love and she was doing this for her daughter. And then she said, because the person just left here tried to do me dirty or something. And then she went through her whole soliloquy talking about Brit. This is Kenya's event. And you are talking about another woman. That is crazy. Then she holds these pictures up that can be blurred that we can see. Doesn't that look like Nene a little bit? Look at that, real good, right? She was like, who is this garden tool, right? Then the ladies are completely perplexed because why is this happening? Kelly is the MVP. This is a friend who has your back when you're not there. I like Kelly for that. This was everybody's expression when Kenya pulled out the next photo. This is the one where there was fellatio involved. Bravo had to make a statement, and everybody headed on out.